because if I was in a position of power or authority, I would have you all arrested and tried for treason against my country under the grounds of 18 U.S.C. 2381 treason U.S. Code. Whoever owing allegiance to the United States levies war against them or adheres to their enemies, giving them aid and comfort within the United States or elsewhere, is guilty of treason.
City of Las Vegas Detention Center.
Your account balance is $6.10. To hear the charges for this call, press 2. To accept this call, press 5. To refuse this call, hang up. This call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. Thank you for using IC Solutions. You may begin speaking now.
Hello?
Hey, Mr. Cooper, how's it going in the Las Vegas Detention Center hellhole?
Oh, it sucks. Today they think this place is going to burn down.
Wow.
They've been having like electrical problems. Remember I told you about that fire they just had recently?
Yeah.
Well, this morning I woke up, the smell was so bad everybody was almost throwing up over the side of the railing. And I told the guards, I said, you guys need to shut that AC off. It's going to catch on fire and it's going to burn this place down.
Wow.
There's something wrong with it. I don't know if a rat got up there and chewed a wire off, but it's electrical. It's pretty bad. And every night we go to sleep, but smoke pours into our cell, and nobody does anything about it.
You know, there was a jail in Florida that another prisoner that we communicate with, there was a huge fire, man, and it actually killed some folks, I think. And they don't, you know, these prison systems, people don't realize how bad they are. You know, I totally can understand what you're talking about.
Well, in smoke inhalations, I went to school to be a firefighter, so smoke is caused by incomplete combustion, and it releases carbon deposits. And what happens is it's a colorless, odorless gas that's associated with it, so you don't even know. You don't even have to have a fire. If that smoke is coming through, or that gas is coming through a vent, it gets into the lungs, and this is what causes smoke inhalation. And those carbon deposits actually attach themselves to the hemoglobins in the blood, and the only cure for that is pure oxygen that detaches it from the blood. So it's like alcohol. You know how they do the BAC test to find the alcohol deposits attached to the blood.
Yeah.
And that's why it's kind of the same idea, except you can die 2 weeks, sometimes a month after smoke inhalation because of that stuff remains in your blood.
Wow.
And so it's going to kill somebody, and then then what are they going to do?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they do that. I mean, if you look up deaths in the United States prison, it happens all the time. And I'm not trying to be shocking or anything, but there's a lot of abuse and mistreatment.
There's an epidemic, and I walked right out and told the guards, I said, that is going to kill somebody, and they just looked at me like I was stupid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, when the ACLU, sees the snot out of it, because I guess the ACLU's got a huge lawsuit on them now.
Yeah.
Because somebody here got smoke inhalation the other day.
Yep.
And so, but they don't do anything to fix it. They don't care. They just assume let it burn down. And it's like, well, that's your job, your pay. I mean, you think you would want to keep your facility? No, they don't. Like I was talking to a brick wall.
Yeah, I totally understand. Is Las Vegas Detention Center run by the state, or is it run by G Hotel Private Prison Corporation? Or
I have no idea.
Excuse me.
I talked to Michelle Fiore, and she was saying when she was going to get out to city council, it was going to be her jail.
I see.
And I think she meant that she has say in things or might be running it, type of thing, like the funding and budgeting and the planning. I don't know. But I haven't had to have a chance to have an in-depth conversation with her on it. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, I see.
Have you guys had a chance to watch the documentary?
Erin did, but she's out running errands this morning. I fell asleep before it played, but she watched the whole thing, and she gave me feedback that it was really good, and they really, gave a fair story, and I think everybody had a box of Kleenex.
Okay, because there was an interview they gave me after the funeral, and I was concerned about it and wanted to know how much they edited it.
You were in you were in it for sure. I can't remember the specific parts, but Erin will. She'll be back later today.
I talked to Melissa. Melissa watched the whole thing. And She said that I was in that interview after the funeral, and I said, "What was said?" And she goes, "Why?" I said, "Because they asked me." Now check this out. This is what was weird about it. They asked me in that interview, "You are a fugitive now. Are you going to turn yourself in?" how would they know I was a fugitive at that point?
Right. Right.
Then they asked me. They were asking me about. They said they were saying how Robert was a martyr, you know, and I said, well, nobody wanted him to be a martyr. Nobody wanted him to die. And he says, well, but he is a martyr now, isn't he? I said, well, yeah, I guess he is. And then I brought up Mark McConnell in that interview and said that he was responsible for getting him killed. And I guess that didn't make. So I'm wondering how much of my interview was edited.
Yeah, I have no idea, but Aaron will know, and
that's why I don't like these things, because they edit too much, and so it doesn't present enough of the facts.
Yeah, that's why it's always good to do a live interview, and whenever they ask you a question, you just ignore their question and say what you want to say, you know.
Right. And so that's why I was kind of like, I'm so curious to find out what was in that interview, and nobody can tell me.
Aaron will know. She's got a pretty good memory for such things, and I know she watched the whole thing.
But it was good, and didn't throw us under the bus too much.
I think Aaron said it was pretty fair, and they everybody had a box of Kleenex at the end of the movie because they were crying for Lavoie, which is that's always a good thing, that he was painted in the proper light.
Good. Well,
Hey, let me ask you this. All these, they're going to retry everybody from the first group that got a mistrial, and they're pushing everybody out to delay. Does that mean your sentencing will be pushed out too, and they're going to hold you longer? And
I have no idea. I haven't talked to my attorney since I've been here. I can't even get a hold of my Oregon attorney now. It's absolute crap.
Yeah.
I actually called my Oregon attorney and said, can I just go get sentenced now and go to prison? I'm tired of waiting for it. I just want to, because I heard the prisons are a lot better.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sick when you think about it, that I'm so eager to get sentenced so I can get somewhere where I can see my kids and I can walk around the yard, and you know what I mean, and actually enjoy my time a little bit.
No, you're in one of the worst hellholes of all the prisoners that we talk to. There's no doubt about it. I mean, I can't ship you.
I will say this place is different in the light that my cellies work for the kitchen, so they're always bringing back hordes of milk. I'm drinking like a gallon of milk a day, but you can only drink so much milk till you make yourself sick. And then, but I mean, as far as, it's really, a guard by my door said, this is the worst run jail in the history of America. He said that.
Yeah.
Those are his exact words. I started laughing at myself so hard I couldn't stop. And everybody else started laughing. They said, I cannot believe a guard just said that. And I said, that really puts things in perspective, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. Florida is pretty got a huge reputation for having prison abuse, too. They actually scalded a man to death in a shower not too long ago.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any. Didn't they have video?
I don't know if they had video. Yeah, I think they did have video in the aftermath. Yeah, but of course they always come up with a story after, like it was his fault. He was screaming, and
I know it's everybody's fault but the government.
Right?
Isn't that funny how that works?
Right. He had mental problems. It was his fault. He didn't do what he should do. It's like he's screaming to death, burning alive. His skin is falling off his flesh, and it's all of a sudden his fault. It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, what a load of garbage.
Yeah.
So, that's just. I mean, that's how our politicians is. Oh, well, it's not my fault. And, blah, blah, blah. It's everybody's fault but theirs.
Yeah.
They can't accept responsibility for anything. Which is funny. They always want us to accept responsibility when we go to the courtroom, don't they?
Oh, right. But they don't themselves, right? I loved your John McCain interview.
It's so full of poop.
Yeah.
It's astounding.
Yep. Before every one of our uploads that we put up on YouTube, I always play like a 10 to 15 second clip of when you were nailing John McCain and telling him that he was treasonous and everything. It's great, man. It's one of the best clips in the history.
I'd like to do it again.
Yeah.
I'd like to go back in front of him and be like, you little scumbag, because I want to scald him for what he did to the Apaches there in Arizona.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And be like, so how is it, John McCain? Not only do you sell your soul out to the terrorists who are trying to kill us, but now you sell your soul out to a corporation to take sacred Native American land, to line your greasy pockets with corporate money to mine their sacred land for copper. That you and Jeff Flake both signed under the National Defense Authorization Act under Obama to take from them.
Yeah.
That's brokering mining contracts. Isn't that illegal to broker mining contracts behind the scenes like that?
Right. I loved it how he didn't even answer. He just walked away. He's like, he's not even going to, answer any sort of.
He knows it's wrong.
Right. Right.
It's common sense. We don't arm bad guys. We don't go over and hang out with them and be like, "Hi, would you like some more of this liver and kidney that I cut out of my dead enemy?" Do you remember when Glenbeck did that? You're sure. I love Phil. Phil tastes great. You remember when Glenn Beck did a great report on that and showed the video where they were eating the heart and liver out of the body. I'm going like, oh my God, these are the people we're giving weapons to.
Yeah, let's fund those guys.
Yep.
Well, hey, just FYI on another topic, Skylar Barbeau's trial's coming up June the 5th, so keep that in your prayers. He'll be, all right. You know what his case is, right? He just basically says, yeah, I made a short-barreled rifle and I made a fully automatic machine gun and I created it myself, and so what? But the prosecution is arguing that he should not be allowed to argue the Second Amendment, and they're banning him. A motion in limine. They're trying to prevent him.
Absolutely, that's the problem. And see, in these courtrooms, they won't let you bring the Constitution up for your
exactly.
defense.
Exactly.
And so they're going to have a real hard time with me, if they call me to testify again, because I'm going to bring the Constitution up. It's going to be mentioned, and I'm going to say that it's wrong what happened here.
Yeah.
And so I don't think they're going to like that very much. But hey, if you're going to call me to tell the truth, I'm going to bring up the Constitution.
Yeah, that's the one. Yep.
Because it is the supreme law of the land. Period. No doubt about it. And it was violated, Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17, the Second Amendment, the First Amendment, the 10th Amendment. I mean, let's be serious here. When we talk about constitutional violations, the Bundy Ranch case violates just about every one we have a name for.
Yeah. I would never tell you how to testify, but if you could slip in something about jury nullification while you're on the stand, that would be great too.
I think I'm going to address the jury.
Yeah.
But and just be like, hey, we had every right to do what we did, period. There is no doubt about that.
Yeah.
And the only crime that was committed in any of this was by the federal government.
Right.
Do you know how many federal laws they broke doing what they did?
Right.
Even after a sheriff told them kick rocks, and then their jurisdiction stops right there. So how did they bring everybody into a federal courtroom?
Yeah, I know. They won't even allow you to argue jurisdiction while you're in that courtroom.
Right, and that's another crazy thing. I mean, here's my argument: if the federal government can just do whatever the hell they want, and there's no barrier or separation of powers like we're supposed to have in this country. That's why we have 3 branches of government, and that's why we have states. So if the federal government can just control all of the land and do whatever they want, what's the point of even having states' rights?
Yeah.
What's the point of having states at all? We might as well just race all the borders and be like Russia. That's essentially what they're saying right now.
Right.
To the letter. It is no different than a communist nation. And that is why we're supposed to have separation of powers, is so this crap doesn't happen to people.
Yeah, amen.
The federal government can't just come in and pull anybody they feel like at any given time. We're going to destroy your life because we don't like you. And we're going to put you in our courtroom, and we're not going to let you present a defense. We're not let you bring forth evidence. We're not going to let you call witnesses. We're not going to let you bring up the Constitution. We're not going to let you bring up jurisdiction issues. Yep. Well, it sounds like I'm screwed. Where do I sign to just get beheaded?
Right. Well, I'm not into this sovereign stuff, but I have read a lot about it, and they say when you enter that courtroom, it's admiralty law, and you have that gold fringe, and you're basically the same as on a boat, and whatever the judge says goes. There's nothing anybody can do about it.
Pretty much, it's like maritime law is what it's called.
Yeah.
And the sovereign movement, I don't know a lot about. I like the concept of it to be left alone. Just leave me alone. I want to live my life. I don't hurt anybody. I don't rob people. I'm just out here trying to take care of my family. I'm just trying to raise cattle and feed my family and put them on the market. But you bozos come in with your armed gunmen and your military contractors and put a barrel rifle up my butt when I'm trying to just live my life.
Yep.
And what does the Declaration of Independence say? It says, anything that is contrary or that is destructive to these ends, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It is the right and duty of the people to abolish and alters those government and provide new guards for our future security. So we're supposed to change all the guards, and throw them all out, put new ones in. That's what it says.
Yeah, amen. That's what it says.
So, I mean, they like to talk about radicals and extremists. Well, by God, so was every founder who made this country. And I think it's pretty extreme when they had their entire family out there with firearms blasting the Brits, because the Brits were raping, pillaging, and trying to tax them without representation. Let's talk about the Boston Tea Party. Let's see how many laws were broke there. Criminal damage, breaking and entering, interfering with interstate commerce there, I would think.
Yeah.
That's a commerce issue. Aiding and abetting. I mean, think about the charges they could have brought against the people who did the Boston Tea Party.
Oh, right.
You know? So there's some law. So they absolutely were criminal. They absolutely had to break the law to do that for that civil disobedience. And it needed to be done because they needed to make a point that they weren't going to be oppressed.
No, thank God they did do it.
Yeah, so, you know, so for everybody trying to say we went too far with the refuge or we went too far at the Bundy Ranch, I say that's a load of crap. It was absolutely what needed to happen. There was no other choice. There was no recourse. When the system fails you, your voice is ignored, and you exhaust every legal avenue, that's what your Second Amendment and First Amendment are all about. And we use that to the letter.
Yeah.
So according to that, we absolutely kept the law to the letter.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
We kept all state laws. It's the federal government that says, well, you broke all our laws. How did we break your laws? I mean, so you're saying your law supersedes Fed law, and then your law supersedes the Constitution, which you send soldiers overseas to die every day who swear an oath to protect and defend from all enemies, both foreign and domestic? Well, in that case, then the Marines should be marching right into Washington and rounding up every congressman and
every one of them,
federal judge and every politician there is, putting them in handcuffs and shipping them to a different country and saying, we're going to start over, we're tired of our Constitution.
Every single one of them. I totally agree. My friend says it took radicals to form this country. It'll take radicals to save it.
Absolutely. So you know what? When people call me a radical extremist, thank you.
Yeah.
That means I'm doing my job.
Right. Right.
Now, we'll draw the line is if you're killing innocent people. That's wrong. And that's where we know where we draw the line. You know, we're not terrorists. We're not Islamic terrorists. We don't strap bombs on our kids and blow up a Walmart. This is stuff that we don't do in the movie. And anybody who's thinking about doing it, or who thinks that that's okay because they're upset, that's wrong. Don't do it. But you can be bold and stand on your First and Second Amendment in peace, like we did at the refuge and like we did at the Bundy Ranch. The only people that weren't peaceful was the federal government. They're the only ones that killed anybody. In the whole 3 years of this movement, not one person was shot and killed until the federal government murdered Robert Lavoie.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
That is night and day. Night and day. I mean, do you know how many firearms and radicals and extremists I've been around over the last 3 years, from border operations that I led coalitions for to defend the border, from the Bundy Ranch to the Sugar Pine Mine, Operation Big Sky, and then the refuge. And not one time did I ever fear for my life or think somebody was going to kill somebody until I was surrounded by the federal government. I was like, they're going to kill us.
That's right. No, that's a very good point.
They are here to murder us. Either we go or we're all going to die.
Hey, when you said the Sugar Pine Mine, was that George Cornick? Was that the same thing as, or was that a different situation?
Yes, I believe so. It was over a mine, and so in 1945 or 1955, the BLM was grandfathered into the rights, or surface rights, or something like that. So even though you have a mining claim and it's private property, they believe they own whatever on the surface. So these miners on their claims like to build these really nice cabins so they can mine their claim. So they don't have to, because it's kind of, so they're not driving back and forth to town and things like that, because it's a long way up there. And it's easier for them just to have that during the week so they can do their work, and they're really nice cabins. These aren't shacks. These are well-built, well-funded cabins. They're about $40,000, or more. Anyway, they, when a miner will leave and they don't think anybody's on there, they'll put a little notice on the door. If you tear that up, then they'll burn it to the ground.
Right.
Literally, they will light it on. And so in the 80s...
1 minute remaining.
They killed a woman and 3 children.
Wow.
The 3 children got out. The woman, she burnt alive.
Do you know if Skylar was part of the Sugar Pine Mountain thing?
Yes, he was.
Okay.
He was there with us.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Skylar is an awesome. Me and Skylar have done a lot of work together. He is an awesome patriot. So
Yeah.
when they arrested him, I actually called the guy who signed the Michael Baldino FBI guy, and I bitched him out on the phone.
Oh, he's terrible. Yeah. He's a piece of
I'm
crap.
going to sue you, and he says, "Good luck."
Yeah,
Well,
he's a piece of crap. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just a jerk. He was a jerk to me on the phone. And I said, "How could you do that to one of our U.S. Marines, a patriot, a good man?"
Yeah.
Skylar is a good.
Yeah.
He's a good man.
He called he called Skylar a domestic terrorist, just like ISIS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not a good person. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I
Baldino.
had it out with him on the phone pretty bad.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of like that. I'll call the FBI agent and be like, "Screw you," and
I was gonna tell him to call back when Aaron gets home tonight, but it cut us off. But anyway, that's Blaine Cooper from the Las Vegas Detention Center hellhole.